friends, it's Gwen. Welcome back to my channel. Today I am here to review the arc of Genuine Fraud by E. Lockhart. E. Lockhart really blew up when her last novel, We Were Liars, hit the New York Times bestseller list. It also just recently came out with an anniversary or deluxe edition, and I really did enjoy that book. I do think I have a review on my channel. I may or may not. I don't really remember, but I really enjoyed it. I actually received my copy from Danny for like Christmas one year, and it's a short book, and so is this one, so I don't know if that's like a trend with her, but I really enjoyed the story. It was pretty good. I think that a lot of people are going to be on the fence about this, and rightfully so. In the acknowledgments section, she does say that she was influenced by several works. She was inspired by Victorian orphan stories, con artist tales, anti-hero novels, action movies, noir films, superhero comics, tales told backwards, stories of class mobility. And her influences are The Talented Mr. Ripley, The Man in the Rockefeller Suit, and Great Expectations. And I haven't read any of those books. I've only watched the movie The Talented Mr. Ripley. It's one of my all-time favorite movies ever, like in my top 5, and I can definitely see the similarities between The Talented Mr. Ripley and this. Like I said, I haven't read the book, but I saw the movie many times. If you're familiar with The Talented Mr. Ripley, this will be really easy for me to explain to you. It's a gender bent, told in reverse, The Talented Mr. Ripley. I liked it. I keep wavering back and forth between 3 stars and 4 stars. I ended up rating it 3 stars. I finally settled on my 3 stars just because I did enjoy it, but there were some things that could have taken it to the next level. It's hard to explain this book without like spoiling it. Like I said, if you know anything about The Talented Mr. Ripley, it's that story told in reverse from a woman being the main character. One of the things that made The Talented Mr. Ripley so strong, in my opinion, was that it was told from the beginning of the story, and it leads up to like the twists and turns and psychological suspense, and then it ends, and so the story built naturally. In Genuine Fraud, you start at the beginning knowing that your main character, Jewel, is a liar. She ends up calling herself by another name. Like, what's the truth? What's fantasy? What's going on? It really does start on this like high adrenaline. You're trying to figure out what's going on, and it takes you a minute to realize that the story is being told in reverse. But once you know that, you kind of just like fall into the story a little bit easier. I wish that it would not have been told in reverse, but I feel that it would have been very much like The Talented Mr. Ripley if you did that, and maybe that's why she decided to tell it in reverse. Her and her best friend Imogen, kind of like their lives kind of like intertwine, mix up, and you find out like why they're best friends, how they became best friends, but everything is not as it seems, because as you know, your main character is lying to you. So I think that there's something with lying that E. Lockhart enjoys. I wouldn't necessarily say that either character is likable, because you have Jewel, who is a liar, and then you have Imogen, who kind of seems like this rich, like woe is me type character, and you're not really sure why they're friends, how they met, because it is being told in reverse. Like I said, it's such a short book. It's better kind of going into it not knowing much, because everything just kind of happens so fast. But if you're one of those people that needs everything kind of laid out for you from the beginning, you're probably not going to like this. This book will not be for you, because it is told in reverse, and the character Jewel is a liar, so it takes you a while to figure out what's going on. And it's a bit like a puzzle, and you're trying to like fit everything together, but you're also trying to piece out what's truth, what's fantasy, but you like you're able to figure out like subtle little clues and like piece them together, and like you don't realize the full scope of what is going on or these characters or anything like that until the very final page. There was one quote that stuck out to me in this story, and it kind of sums up the story, but not only the story, but just like the social media world that we live in. I feel that a lot of us can forget this sometimes. Remember, this is the uncorrected proof, so it may or may not change, but I thought this quote was perfect. It says, "You want me to pay attention to you when I don't feel like it. You want me to be beautiful and effortless when some days I feel ugly and things come hard. You set me up on a throne and you want me to always make nice food and read great literature and be golden with everyone. But that isn't me, and it's exhausting." So I just really thought that that was a great way to sum up like the characters of this story, but also the book as a whole. That's all for my review. I can't really give you too much. It's a very short, quick read. Like I said, if you enjoyed The Talented Mr. Ripley or any of those other stories that I mentioned at the beginning, I think you will enjoy this. Probably not going to be my favorite read of the year or anything like that, but I'm glad I read it. I enjoyed it, and I hope you do as well. So let me know if you got an early art copy of this. My friend Kristen went to the American Libraries Association conference, and she was able to get me this art, so I was super excited about it. So thank you again, Kristen, for sending me this copy. But that's all for today's review. I hope you're all having a lovely day, and I'll see you again in my next video. Bye!